yeah. It's a
Wheels
Monday.
down, baby.
Monday, eastbound and down, pedal to the metal, closing out a Monday. I was a big fan of that movie, man. The soundtrack for Smoking the Bandit was really killer. I mean,
Jerry Reed, probably one of the best guitarists ever lived.
Yeah, he was
different.
Dimensional, influenced a lot of people.
I know, Elvis wanted to do one of his songs one time, and nobody could get the guitar part right. So they called Jerry and said, "Hey, we gonna come play?" He said, "Yeah, I'll be there."
Well, actually, what was Guitar Man? Actually, he was fishing. They had to get him away from fishing.
Yep, that's exactly right.
They called him to the shore to got him over there, and he said, well, "I can't tell him. I'll have to show him."
Yeah.
So when they got there, he ended up playing. Did it one take.
Nobody can play like he could.
Yeah, he had that thing twisted up so much the tuning on it, nobody could figure it out. It didn't sound right. Come in, famous RCA Studios right there in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep.
Hey, Dusty. Well, happy Monday, man. How you been?
I've been busy. Been busy.
Me too, man.
I'm gonna tell you what. We ordered some new furniture. For the back part of the deck here. Let's see down there. I think down there. It's a table. That we're 8 or 10 people. I got a bunch of chairs I got to put together. But they're comfortable chairs. They're kind of rock. They rock a little bit. They swivel. But anyway, it's going to be a nice, little addition, to be able to come back here and do the show and maybe invite people over and all that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we've really seen that. This is our back porch setting for the back porch life or whatever we want to call it.
One area.
One area. We got a couple of ideas. It's a beautiful up on the ridge. Beautiful.
I've still got
we could go higher
levels above me. I'm on the bottom level. I got 2 levels of deck above me.
So we could choose different locations for the back porch.
Most definitely.
My friends. I seen Howie. What happened to him? I wanted to introduce him to the world.
Hop up here, chair.
Where'd he go?
He's right.
Howie's a cool dude. I like Howie.
Get up here. Come on.
There he is.
Get up here. Hey, he don't want to get up here because hold on a second.
Howie's cool. I was honored to be.
I want you to look. There's got to be a pad in the chair. Come on, get up here. Look now.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Howie's cool dude. Loves to be petted. Very friendly dog. Very smart dog.
He is. He's smart.
And if you go visit Biscuit Boy, Howie's gonna make sure you know that he's in the house.
He's out up here.
Hey, Howie. Oh, that's a cool setting, man. Nice view there.
Hey, it's really, really, really comfortable out here tonight.
Yeah, it's like no humidity, man. It's been a beautiful weekend, beautiful day.
It has. A little windy. Yeah. We tried to play pickleball today, and my wife got me twice. I mean, she was hitting some shots that were just unbelievable. But, it's hard for this old man to get around. Sometimes legs don't want to move the right way.
I know how that is.
Yeah. But anyway, it's still good to get out there and run around,
Yeah. Let's talk a little news, man.
Let's do it.
This is Patriot Nation News, one of the many nations we have here at the podcast.
We have many.
First off, we want to make the announcement again. Every show on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Miss Annie Cyrus will be with us for 1 hour. If you're not familiar with Annie, go to her website, liveuptofreedom.com. She was born in Iran, was forced into be a child bride, lived under Sharia law, broke away from that, made her way to America, is a believer, and is obviously trying to fight the good fight for.
Yep.
She loves America, is an American, but she, I'm sure has family there and cares about what's going on there. She is also just wrote a book that released Saturday. Right. I hope to have that book in my possession Tuesday or Wednesday. And so we'll be talking about the book, her childhood, Iran, current, or then, now, what's going on. And she has also had 10 or 12 death threats put on her life.
Wow.
Those don't go away. Once they issue one, that fatwa, it's for life until you're dead. So she has to be careful. She's not the only one that's done like that.
Oh no, that she's one
That,
that's standing up, and
yeah,
letting people
if you
know.
speak up and criticize, that's what they'll do. It's been a few years ago that I think it was, what's her name? Gabrielle and another speaker. It was Texas, I believe it was, where they sent the assassins after him, and good old Texas Rangers took them down. They were two of them. They were armed to the teeth. They were going to come in there and kill as many as they could, especially her and the other speaker, because they were speaking against Islam, and the radicalization and the jihad and all that. So,
yep.
But that's the limit.
Rangers, buddy.
Yeah, right here in Chattanooga. I'm in North Georgia, but right here in Chattanooga, this is a most unusual case. They do have a gang problem, but somehow or another, some guns got stolen out of a Federal Express shipment that the government was doing.
Right.
I didn't know they did that through Federal Express, but anyway.
You'd be surprised.
They had a shooting at Coolidge Park. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yep.
Thankfully, nobody was hit, but they have found 6 shell cases. AK-47, man.
Yep.
One of those. I met a guy today that said he went to school with the shooter.
Yeah.
And he said, I went to school with him. It's shocking, but he said, honestly, the guy his whole life, he's been kind of in and out of trouble, But that's a family area. That's where people take, family.
Exactly.
It's down.
You don't go down there at night.
No, not at night.
One of the guns that they found was a MAC-10.
Yeah, that's the picture they showed.
Right, and that is a dangerous weapon. It can be customized. It can be made fully automatic. It's a dangerous weapon. They talk about the AR-15. AR-15 is just a glorified 22.
Yeah.
308 is a much bigger cartridge with a lot more takedown power, and people hunt with those all the time, but you don't see people shooting people with them. You know what I mean? Because they're not scary, like the AR-15. The AR-15 is a weapon of war. That's, But
now, if you had a 50 caliber out there, that would be another matter,
Yeah, no joke.
But what was shocking, maybe it shouldn't be shocking. Maybe I shouldn't even use that word, but I guess for me, there's been gun violence, obviously. And there was a death of a downtown city businessman who was a Baylor graduate, and it really shocked the local merchants down there. He was shot in the head by someone and killed. Yeah. And they have done a lot of things in the city to increase security in the downtown area, the riverfront and all that.
I learned something.
We've always had gun violence, but I was shocked, I guess, that it had reached that level. Like, I've not heard of another case where these type of weapons were being used. For me, maybe it has. I haven't heard about it.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There are many AK-47s that are unregistered. There are all kinds of guns that are unregistered in this part of the country anyway. But I learned something really neat today as far as carrying concealed.
Yeah.
It doesn't pertain to dogs. You can put a carrying apparatus on your dog and carry a gun with you wherever that dog wants to go, as long as it's on a leash. So you got you got your gun on a leash. I thought it's a loophole in all 50 states.
Wow.
It's a loophole.
Look at Hallie. Hallie perked up on that. Like,
hey,
I'm with you, partner.
He'll tote whatever I want him to tote.
I think it's great that you say you and your beloved can go play pickleball, and he'll sit there and watch from the back of the vehicle and not move. Just watch y'all play.
He'll sit there and watch. Like right now, he's watching my back.
He's watching your back.
That's what he's doing. He's watching my back out in the woods, making sure nothing's coming up.
I wanted to put on screen today. We had a sad. My understanding is that it's still an investigation. My understanding is that maybe they've been doing some updates to the courthouse there in Rome, Georgia, but very old, historic courthouse,
burnt to the ground.
And unfortunately, today that courthouse is virtually destroyed. I don't know if it went all the way down to the ground on the inside. You got brick there, but there were parts of that tower falling. Do what?
Yeah. Looks like it was gutted really good.
It was gutted really good. I know I went to the in this this is Floyd County's Post,
right?
And they're, obviously, I mean, you got anything to do at the courthouse, you're going to be in trouble. But they're going to be doing a lot of it online for a bit. I mean, thankfully, you've got computer records, things are, but I imagine it's going to be difficult to do some things for a little bit. And I mean, that's a pretty good hub. I mean, there's a lot of people live there. A lot of activity will be going on. But they say you walk through the archway, it feels like 1860 when you would walk in there. It was just very old, historic, and that's a shame. And I heard, and I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody told me that maybe there was a welding issue, but and somebody that's done safety, I would just say it wouldn't shock me, because if you don't bird dog some of these people, man, they'll get you to sign a hot work permit, but it won't be what it should be. You got to go really check this thing out. Again, I don't know anything, so I don't want to say that that's what it was.
Right.
But it is sad that it burnt. I mean, back in the war, they burn a lot of them to, destroy records and stuff. Right. And my mom's side, a lot of the courthouse records for her family was this is upper part of Tennessee, Hickman County, Tennessee, be exact. Right. They burnt the courthouse there. A lot of records were gone. This was during the war, which happened. So there are sometimes you do genealogy and the records are just gone. Now they've digitized a lot of that stuff now, but I'm a fan of history. We have the history show here at the podcast, and I just hate it when something historical like that goes.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
But yeah, and that's within an hour of where I live, or where we both live.
Yeah,
very, very sad.
I
didn't know if you had heard about it or not.
No, I had not. But it's funny. Normally, whenever I leave my house, it takes me a good 30 minutes to get to your house. From my house to your house, if traffic is not.
Well, traffic's, man, it's bad anyway.
But so Saturday morning.
But you said the other day you made it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I was in Fort Oglethorpe in 15 minutes.
That's wild. You must have hit everything just right.
I hit all green lights. And, I didn't get over 100 miles an hour.
You texted me that, told me that, like, I got here early.
Yep.
I was walking out as you were pulling up.
Yep.
I try to get back and out early. The president, I was talking this morning about, the president's deadline for 48 hours for Iran to make some, agree to the strait being open and all that.
Right.
Well, he said that he has now extended that for 5 days because he has been talking to them. The problem I have with all this, I want to hear what the president says about. I've got a little video I'm going to play about that.
By the way, this is our other little setup
here. Nook. Love it.
Yeah, I got the couch here. Couch is over there. Got the view back here.
We're gonna enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the summer.
Still got another area up top there.
Yeah. We got all kind of back porches.
That will take your breath away. It's pretty high up in the air.
But the president says that I'm gonna play this video, but I want to talk about it because he said there was recently he said there was nobody to talk to, that so many levels had been destroyed of leadership, there was nobody to talk to. Then the administration says we've been talking. So I hate it when they do give conflicting things. I don't expect the president to come out and say, hey, we're talking, this is what the deal is. Cornbread and biscuits, that's right. But the fact that, but when you say there's no, they keep moving the line. I guess what bothers me is they say, we're going to 48 hours and that's it. And they say, well, we're giving 5 days. Well, when you gave the 48 hours, you said you've been talking for days. I don't get that, but I want to play this. I'm going to.
Well, who they've been talking to. The Shah, the last Shah of Iran. It's his son.
Well, I know, but
that's who's going to step in.
But I figure they're going to set up on the island. But anyway, that's what he says.
Yeah.
We'll let the president speak for himself here. 1 second. Let me wind her back and then load her up, and then we'll see what he had to say.
All right.
tomorrow morning, sometime, their time, we were expected to blow up their largest electric generating plants that cost over $10 billion to build. It's a very good one. There was no dearth of money. And one shot, it's gone. It collapses. Why would they want that? So they called. I didn't call. They called. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. And it's got to be no more wars, no more nuclear weapons. They're not going to have nuclear weapons anymore. They're agreeing to that. Any of that stuff, there's no deal.
So
I want to tell you what, he has mastered the art of the deal.
He has. Just the thing that bothered me, and Broski says he's running himself with terrible people. Tulsi Bassett, Bonnie Patel, know him.
He has. Hopefully he's
going to get real. And understand, hey, Bam, how you doing? And Broski's there, and hey, how you doing? But I just, the president saying that, I mean, I don't know if it's information he's getting. He said, well, I didn't call them. They called me, or they called us. And, who's calling? Because they said,
yeah,
2 days ago or 3 days, it was about 3 days ago when they said there's nobody to talk to. Yeah. They're all dead. So somebody's called. I mean, I don't know. I get the image. I'm just making a joke, folks, so don't jump on me. But I get the image of the guy that's, still sitting at his post, is like a low-level desk, clerk or something that says, hey, America, we're good.
Nobody left.
Nobody left. All my bosses are dead. Yeah. I think you can stop now. I'll sign anything. Give me my paycheck and I'll sign anything. But I'm just trying to figure out what the heck they're talking about, because they go from one thing to another. I don't get it.
What it's going to take is for the local law enforcement, the Leos, if you want to say, to step up, start taking over these major buildings, that where the seats of power are, and start, rooting them out. They've got to get in there and take their own country back.
Yeah, they do. And I agree. I think the island will be taken. I think they'll set that up. And I was looking at a graph today, or really a map, and I wish I had pulled it, but they were showing that places, what had happened since the bombing campaign has begun. Right. We've knocked out a lot. I mean, a heck of a lot. I mean, there's not much left, seemingly. But they showed where the spots are that they're still firing from. They fired some in Israel
and hospitals and places.
Yeah,
like
Britain
that
says they didn't fire anything at them. I'm about sick of Britain. I've got to be honest with you. They seem like they just keep hiding behind curtains. But anyway, one of the spots that they fired from was near Natanz, the nuclear facility that we have. It was closed or whatever, that we knocked out 2 or 3 times. We hit that very heavy. So this is kind of what's happening now. We see where they fire from, and then they're running sorties over that. I mean, they got the Warthogs there. This is not a fighter capability. There's no fireback. They don't have any anti-aircraft. These are missiles they launch or drones, and they just hit the spot. Range. So that's kind of where there's about 12 locations, and they've went further inside the country. The coastal areas are gone. They're going further inside the country, and they're hitting these spots as they see them fire off. That's kind of where it's at.
Well, we've also got to watch out for Hezbollah and all these other, that coming through Lebanon and different places. We've had to stop them on that side too. But, Israel has sent out a thing. They're running low on ammo.
Yeah, they'll be asking for more and money.
Yeah.
I want to give everybody a little look-see. Let me see if I can find that.
I was reading in Revelations, we've been in Revelations this month.
Yeah.
And last night it talks about Babylon being destroyed in an hour. And the smoke going up. And I just wondered why I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's the United States, if what is that? That it's really been something curious for me.
Yeah, there's lots of things we don't know.
The Lord will reveal it to me. You know,
I wanted to read. I have a source in Israel who is he's Jewish. His wife is I think part Jewish. He has gotten his citizenship there. He's a missionary. I will not use the name because he works with a ministry there that gives out the gospel and also food and clothes and things like that. And they've gotten married. They have children now. And one of those is autistic. And let me find here it is. This is a firsthand account. This was during the first days of the war. And so this is sent kind of, I mean, everybody knows who everybody is, but you can't rock the boat. Or, I mean, he's a citizen, but they can still cause him a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But this is an ongoing Christian outreach in Israel, in the town of Rishon LeZion. I don't think that's probably a problem for saying that, because there's a lot of ministry that's being done there, not just this one. But he goes through some things, you know, about what they called it and everything. But he said in that town, and there's a couple others, they had at this time a total of 123 sirens for incoming missiles. This just gives you an idea of what it's like when missiles are coming from either Hezbollah or from Iran.
Right.
So he said they average about 6 sirens a day. They have spent a total of 32 hours in the bomb shelters since the start of the war. They're sitting now. Again, this is not till today. This was earlier. This has been sent out. Right. He says their city ranked 6th for most amount of time spent in the bomb shelters in the war. Tel Aviv and surrounding suburbs ranked 1st through 5th.
Right.
So he wanted to explain a little bit what it's like. So a ballistic missile is launched from Iran. The Home Front Command sends out a broadcast text message to everyone's cell phone. It's a high-pitched noise that lets everyone know we have about 5 to 10 minutes to find shelter. In our home, they have 3 cell phones. The reason being, I think probably one of those is a ministry cell phone.
Right.
But anyway, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter to me. They have 3. So when that happens, all 3 go off. And it's a shrieking alert noise that they hear in surround sound. All the phones going off.
Yeah, wow.
At least 1 or 2 of those alarms come in the middle of the night. So they're getting some at night. And he said it is quite jarring because you're asleep, you're trying to sleep, and you get this. He says it's nearly impossible for you to really get a good sleep. And there's, you know, obviously there's exhaustion setting in and everything because you're asleep.
Yeah, because there's still
he says
things
as the missile
done.
Closer, they hear the actual air raid sirens from the city center. At that point, everyone should be in a shelter. We, praise God, we have a safe room within our apartment. This means we don't need to leave our home to find shelter, which not everybody has.
Right.
It depends on where you're living at. You know, they're blessed to have that. Also, our children are able to sleep in that room and usually don't wake up during the sirens at night. That's a blessing.
Yes, it is.
However, many Israelis, including people in our church, either have to go to the basement shelter of their building or they have to actually leave their building altogether to walk to a nearby public bomb shelter. Remember, you got 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got to be moving out, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the situation would be much worse for our family and nearly impossible with our son, who I won't name him. He's autistic. Once we're in our safe room, we typically end up hearing explosions that frequently rattle our windows. Sometimes it's the sound of interceptor missiles exploding against the incoming ballistic missiles.
Right.
Sometimes it is the sound of a missile exploding as it makes impact on site. Iran often fires cluster missiles at us, which is basically a missile that opens up into a bunch of smaller explosives. We get that. And I've seen those videos.
I've seen cluster bombs. You know, we've been using them for years.
Oh, yeah. An explosion of a ballistic missile is usually one loud bang, whereas the other is a succession of bangs.
Yeah.
After the explosions are over, we must wait. And this was what got me. So this is what I wanted you to get out of all this. That's life. But this is the part that really people don't think about. It's like an explosion. I mean, a building, you know, occasionally somebody gets hurt or injured or whatever. So you have to wait. You have to be very careful because he says you have to wait 5 or 10 minutes for all the shrapnel to fall to the earth. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
He said many of the injuries during the war have been due to shrapnel falling. Then they receive another message on their phone, letting them know it is safe to leave the shelter. At this point, we watch the news to see the damage. He said, for example, this morning we had a cluster missile explode over our city. Shrapnel landed in 8 sites. Many of those locations had potholes and broken windows, but one piece destroyed a kindergarten 500 meters from their house. Praise God, no one was at the school at the time.
Wow.
So anyway, he talks about the children are doing school online, which is difficult. And I remember what we went through in 2020.
Yeah,
I was in school. I went back to college. My granddaughter was at home doing school because they wouldn't let the kids go to school. So I get that part. That's difficult.
They probably don't have good service over there.
And maybe not. So he says, they're really busy, but they're just going to have to homeschool there, even there. So they're applying. You have to get approved. You just can't do it. You got to approve. So they're working to get approved so they can do that.
And that adds more to your plate.
Thank you, Terry Todd, for the lock. We appreciate you for checking in, brother.
Most definitely.
What, Paul?
I said that adds more to their plate. They already have a full plate with the ministry and all of that. Now they have to homeschool their children. Then they have to go, in between bombs going off. But
and he said the church is meeting online as well. It's not the best, but right now you just can't be in certain places because you don't know. They want big gatherings. They don't want gatherings, stay individualized away, families.
What Iran is trying to do is just kill anybody. They don't care who it is.
Yeah.
They just want to kill. They're bloodthirsty. And, that is the sad truth of the matter is, Dave, we've got a lot of those people that are here illegally that are starting to pop their ugly heads up. And we need to whack-a-mole them as soon as they do. And the FBI and Department of Homeland Security, DHI, they're just not being funded right now because of the Democrats. And, you talk about evil, we are seeing evil every single day. And it's getting worse and worse. And I honestly believe that we are living in historical end times.
Yeah, and the point I'm making is that it doesn't matter if you're a citizen of Israel, if you're a citizen of Iran, people are people, and I've said this from the beginning. I've never shifted on this point. They're just people. They're trying to live a life. Yep. They're not the ones running the government. They're not the ones that are in uniform. They're not the ones flying the planes or firing the missiles. They're just people trying to live their life.
They're fodder.
And so for citizens in Iran, they're in hell right now. But it is happening other places too, and there are people dying and getting injured in others. So it's a horrible thing. We need to pray for people. And these are people that I know. I've had this gentleman. I've known him for a number of years. He's been in my church a number of times. They're wonderful. I knew them before they ever, right after they got married. And
I believe I met him as well.
And by the way, I believe he's from Pennsylvania, if I remember right. Him and his now wife was then, I think they were engaged the first time I met them. Right. I think they're both from Pennsylvania. Wonderful people. There's, I've watched videos that they slip out of teaching at different biblical sites. Just awesome people. Yeah. And they got, I think 3 kids now, 3 or 4. And, they're doing the Lord's work there. And this is what they're experiencing. So, I just get these people, and it really bugs me when I see, and I seen it today, and I see it on both sides. And it's a statement is carpet bomb them all and let whoever figure it out. Folks, we're talking about human beings.
That's right.
And it bothers me. We need to stop. And, nobody wants nuclear weapons to be dropping on their country or missiles or.
Listen, it boils down to what we went through, not too long ago, when we had Biden and the Democrats in power. We had to see exactly how far away from lunacy we could get, or not lunacy, how far into lunacy we could get. And we got pretty far in there, but it's just about 10% that are controlling the 90%. And it's the same way over there. 90% of the people don't want what's going on over there. They don't want those people in power. They're just scared. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And, you got a bunch of thugs running the country over there. And, we got a bunch of thugs running the country here.
Yeah, I get, it really kills me when, if you hate, and I would just say this, if you hate Israel's government, if you hate them, fine, that's fine. But how can you praise Iran's government? I mean, the mullahs and all that. I mean, these people they're horrible. Dude, there's no defending that. I mean, there's good people there that need to take back over. Yeah, but these people are, they're not victims. They're not.
No.
They've been doing this for a long, long time, and they do it to their own people.
Yeah.
And Iranian people will tell you these people have been killing us for decades, and nobody cared.
That's right.
I mean,
Trump's the only one that finally stepped up.
Right now, they're chopping heads off and hanging people in the city square. They've been killing whoever they think is a spy right now, helping the Americans, the Israelis. These are public hangings. They're chopping hands and heads and all.
Yep.
This isn't public. This is a message to the rest. Don't even try it. So they're being even more ruthless because they're trying to hold on, and it's getting more difficult to hold on to the country with what's going on. And I do hope some sort of regime change happens. I mean, we know the end of the story. It's not going to be good. It's never going to get better in the Middle East until Jesus Christ comes back. I mean, let's face it. But if we can get some breaks in it, judgment comes. I mean, it's going to be ugly in the whole of the Middle East. I mean, over the whole world, but especially that region is going to be pure hell
for a while,
for a good while. So I mean, and
if we get listen, if we get the right people in power over there, we will help them rebuild.
Sure.
Israel will help them rebuild.
The Board of Peace.
Exactly. The Board of Peace.
Trump will have his hand out. Send some bills.
Hey, did you hear what Putin did? Putin said he's willing to give $1 billion for Russia to join the Board of Peace.
Swinging to that sector of the world.
Yeah.
I didn't read the whole of the story, but Zelensky says he has evidence that Russia's planning a massive attack. Now, I don't know.
Somebody needs to take Zelensky out. He's a little gay moron that doesn't know what he's doing. He's a dancer. He's he's like Magic Mike. That's what he did.
I can't stand the guy. What gets me about this, and I want to talk about the other side.
He's a little Napoleon wannabe, is what he is.
He's got to be jealous that everything's being talked about is Iran.
Nobody's paying attention over there
because he can't sell his war.
No,
give me more.
But we're still giving it to him.
Well, I know. So I was reading an article about
if we're not, Britain is.
Yeah, I was reading an article about sources that have talked to Russian soldiers and the absolute horror that it is on the front line. So there's a video that's leaked out. I don't know if anybody saw this, where it's Russian generals and commanders torturing Russian soldiers. Sometimes making them crawl through things, electric shocks, hitting them with things. And these were soldiers that have, left the front line. And they say it's cannon fodder. The soldiers will say, one guy, he was supposed to be removed. He has so many injuries, he was supposed to be removed from the field of battle. He can't go to war anymore. Well, there's a certain general over there, and he don't care. And he made him go back into line. And they say that people, have major injuries. They're making them go back on the line because they're having a shortage of soldiers. So the Russians are losing so many a month. If I read the numbers right, it's about 5,000 different. Like there's 5,000 more dying. I think the number was like 40,000. Wow. I think it was 40,000. 30. So they can replace about 35,000 of that right now. But it's, again, those numbers are getting worse. So they are scouring, and they say that Putin has went into he don't want to pull from the cities because that, more people would maybe come against him about this. Yeah. So they say they've been going out into the rural areas, finding people on farms, way out in the mountains or where, and just jacking these people up. They're also paying a bounty if you'll turn them in, and then they're throwing a uniform on them and putting them on the front line. So it is very ugly, and it's been that way for a while. And but the Russian soldiers are, many of them, they've had enough. Like it's like horrible. One guy said he joined because he was having a hard time with finding getting a job or whatever, and the money attracted him. But he said, "Boy, big mistake, bad mistake." He said, "I'm alive, but you don't know how many more days you're going to be alive because there's no relief from it. You keep getting sent into the front lines." Yeah. Horrible, man. Well, Sherman said it best. I was never a fan of Sherman. He said war is hell.
Yeah.
And no matter which side it is definitely hell. I will say this, that the Russians do not look good in this because they were supposed to take this thing in 2 months or less.
And and then we're basically just giving Zelensky and his cronies our leftovers. We're not. They don't get the cream of the crop as far as our weapons go, and they're holding the Russian army off with just a little bit that the technology that we give them.
If they said today to Zelensky, I'm just asking you before this. It doesn't matter which way. I just want to throw it out there. If Zelensky was given the option to leave the country, would you care if he came to America as a place of?
I don't want him here.
Because I heard he has a place in Miami.
That's not up to me.
I know, but if they ask you, would you want little man to come to America and live the rest of his days here, and as a way to replace him, in Ukraine?
Send him to Minnesota. Send him to Minnesota.
Well, it's the land of what, 10,000 lakes or something like that.
10,000 something.
We could find him a little ice hut. He could ice fish. Oops, the ice broke. Sorry, we didn't realize it was melted that much.
Yeah.
I don't care for him. I was just joking around, but I really am shocked. I never thought at the beginning of this war it would last this long.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, Paulie's always got to be moving.
Yeah.
Howie left us already. He's took off. I was enjoying him being on the show. It's the first time for Howie, but just covering some of the news of the day. It has been it's been a good day. I'll just take you with me. What's gas prices where you're at right now?
To be honest with you, I don't like $4.
Yeah, it's probably. I think.
But I use non-ethanol gas. I don't use ethanol gas. I use real gas. It's a little more expensive, but my vehicles love it.
So Zelensky says he has absolute proof that Russia is giving Iran intel. Well, that's a great shock. We knew that. I mean, like we didn't know that he would help them. I mean, again, I think he's jealous. He wants back in the spotlight. But I think about 2 weeks we need to get the strait back open at least to 80% levels, or I think it really will start impacting because the gas prices will hold and because of the oil releases and what they've allowed to come through from Iran. But I think after that, I mean, actually, I'm pretty shocked that they're where they're at. They've actually they shot to 119, or even a little higher than they came back down, and it's still high, but it's not like it was. So I think that will somehow or another the folks that are the analysts that set these prices and they feel pretty confident that it's going to be okay. I just think that the administration have assured them, the energy producers and the ones that buy and sell and all that. I think, listen, we got this thing. There's nothing they can do. We're wrapping up operations here. We're going to knock out anything they can do. The strait will be open, and I think they're giving them a little time to do that, and they feel good about it. But I do think that you're going to see. I think within 10 days you'll see the strait. It may be escorts with naval or Navy. But the tankers and stuff will be brought through, and they'll get this fluctuated because we're getting closer to the midterms. You do not want this on your plate.
Warthogs earlier, Dave. You talked about the warthogs earlier today.
Yes,
or earlier in the show. They are patrolling the Strait of Hormuz. They're going after those fast boats. They got the little zippers with the little missiles on them and stuff that they've been terrorizing. The shipping lanes with. And they've been blowing them out of the water.
Well, they can slip them out of anywhere. I mean, that's the thing. Exactly. This is what they're doing now. Like they're hiding in tunnels and they come flying out. And that's all they got left, man. That is all they got left.
Yeah. And we're taking them
like you say, every one of them has to be obliterated.
Their head up.
Yeah. And eventually you're going to run out of boats and people that want to drive them.
You got that right.
And you're blowing up munitions. And they don't have a way right now, I think, to replace a lot of that. So you just got to keep putting that pressure on.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How many of those people do you think are really disappointed about right now?
Oh, a lot.
They didn't have their 72 virgins whenever that the bombs hit.
Yeah, the big lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
big
not
lie.
good. Can you imagine being in a military? I mean, honestly, humans have intelligence. Most humans, maybe not leftists, but
I was going to say that
many humans have intelligence. So they take you down to this tunnel, and they say you're gonna take this boat with munitions in it, and you're just gonna get as close as you can to whatever ship you come to and blow it up.
Yeah.
I mean, the retirement plan is not real good for those guys.
No.
I mean, you have no protection. You're on a little.
What kind of drugs do you think they're giving them before they take off?
Well, back in World War II, they were giving the kamikaze pilots methamphetamine and more.
Yep.
And they were just blasting them. They could get all they want. They got them all socked up. And of course, the culture fed into that and everything. But they knew it was one way, but they didn't care. It was like, you would think they got to be giving them something. I mean, I know they're fanatical, but come on. At some point,
you've heard of the berserkers. The Viking warriors. They would give them mushrooms, and they are some kind of a hallucinogenic, and they would get so into. I mean, they were berserk, and they would just go on a killing rampage, buddy. You couldn't stop them.
I just can't imagine. You're like a newly graduated from boot camp, and they take you down. They say, "Okay, here's your job for today.
Yeah,
you're gonna get in this little speedboat. We got munitions. You'll have an AK, and you're gonna just find any ship you can find. Doesn't matter.
Here's your
go towards it as fast as you can, and try to blow it up as you get right to the hull."
Yeah,
and I would be thinking, "Hey, excuse me." It reminds me of that scene. Not exactly, but my mind works this way. Of Armed and Dangerous with John Candy and other really funny guys that were in that movie. Remember the movie? They were security officers.
Yeah, it was one of the Canadian bacon type movies. I remember.
Well, John Candy used to be a police officer, and he got in trouble for something he didn't do or whatever. And so they went and got armed security jobs.
Right.
And Levy's the other guy.
Cheers in it. What was that woman's name? It was in Cheers. Wasn't she in that movie too?
Oh, I can't remember. Anyway,
the short, feisty one.
So if you remember the movie, and it was. I wouldn't say it was a great movie, but it was a funny movie to me. Low budget, but it was funny. It had some great scenes. But it's one of my favorite scenes of all time. Is they're sitting there on the first day signing. It's orientation, and they're signing all the paperwork. And they bring in the union head, the union guys. They say, we're passing out the forms for you to sign the union. Right. And Levy said, well, how much is it? Well, it's like 11. They don't make that much money, but it's like $11 or something, a pay period or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And, he keeps asking questions, and they're like, you can tell they're getting irritated. And at the very end, he's like, well, what do you have to join the union? Everybody, it's like everybody in the room, like, hey, there's a question. Do we have to join the union?
Yeah.
What if I don't want to pay the $11 or $9 or whatever it was?
Right.
And you can see the mob guys are getting a little, it's like, you'll want the union. There's a lot of benefits. Yeah, benefits you're going to get out of this. You want to sign. And so he raises his hand one more time. The guy says, just sign the blanket paper. And he says,
sign it.
Do you have a pencil? And everybody else just looks down and starts signing. I can imagine something like that. Like, is there another job that I could do? I mean, this seems like a little, I'm not qualified. I mean, I've never been trained on the speedboat. I don't know how to start it, choke it, whatever,
Right,
maybe I could do something else. I could paint some stuff, stack things, and then say, just get the speedboat.
Don't we have an Air Force of flying carpets? Have you seen those?
Yeah.
That is hilarious, man. On a flying carpet.
I mean, at some point, you got to be thinking like, bad career move.
Yeah. Exactly.
Really?
That is hilarious.
I think I'd go out there with a white flag and say, take me away from
you. Broski brought up something interesting. And I think very factual earlier. He said, people underestimate how much demonic possession is influencing people right now.
Oh, sure.
And,
Absolutely.
we are seeing that. We are seeing that because, we as Christians, we can't be possessed, but we can be oppressed. They can, pick and they've already lost. We have the victory. They can just pick at us. But they can do things to other people in our lives, to get at us that aren't
There's
saved.
definitely people in our government that are possessed. Without a doubt.
I know that for a fact. Yes.
I mean, you can just see that about. I mean, they're just pure
in their
evil.
eyes.
I mean, it's in their eyes, their facial reactions and everything. I mean, it's obvious they're under possession.
Yep.
Some of them might be like the guy in the Bible Legion. I mean, some of them. I mean, and that's what we're at. And that,
I agree. I'm not naming any names, but I can,
Well, yeah, I don't want to do that, but offline, I can tell you one that
I can see a lot of them having
guarantee
a Spartacus moment. You know what I mean?
And evil's going to fight against the good, and we see, bad things are happening. I mean, attacks are going to happen, and you really do. I mean, we need to pray for our leaders because there are leaders that they are trying, but they're fighting against such an evil presence.
We are going to go through a great deception.
Yeah.
If we haven't already, if we're not in the middle of it right now.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a great deception. And I think that great deception is going to be all of a sudden, yes, aliens are real.
I had a meeting
there are flying saucers. I think they're demonic.
I do a lot of work with, and I can't name it because they don't really want you talking about it,
right?
Because you're supposed to say neutral, or in the studies, but it's biblically based, but it's working and with voting and helping with some of those things. Anyway, we had a meeting earlier, and it's one of the things I really appreciate about this group is it starts with prayer, and in that prayer was this. That the good we're trying to do, to get the best candidates, to get good, godly men and women in place in our governments on state level all the way up to federal and local cities and whatever you're working on, school boards, and there's a spiritual warfare that's going on with that.
There's
to pray a covering over those of us who are doing that, people that are stepping up to run for office that are good people, have great families. Because there are people out there that just do their best to shred them to pieces and destroy them if they can.
And they are going to try.
And they will absolutely try, to attack their character, everything about them. We saw that in the 14th, which is in a runoff right now. But, we saw that in that. There were attack things that happened on a level I've never seen before. Talking about members of their family and stuff. It's horrible.
The days of putting the fear of God in people are pretty much over. There's cameras everywhere. I had, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but at one point in my life, I had someone come to my place of work and say things about me. And it was from a law office. And I went and met that lawyer in the parking lot. And I put the fear of God in him. I told him, I said, you ever send anybody back to my place again, don't worry about them. I'm coming after you. And he knew that I meant it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how I did it, but
probably
he knew that I meant it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to protect, and we just, nowadays, one of their favorite things is to do all these fake calls and tell them somebody's injured or in trouble at these politicians' homes. And they think it's funny. And, they battle rattle out there and they wake the family up and there's nothing going on. And this is it happened a lot.
Hey, they were
to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it will happen to the person whoever is elected. I'm telling you,
they were sending SWAT teams with us. So a lot of people were swatted, is what they were starting to call it.
Yeah,
swatted. And there were some of them that were pretty dangerous because I guarantee you, if a SWAT team came to my house in the middle of the night and busted my door in, there would be gunfire. If anybody came through my front door like that, there will be gunfire.
Yeah, and that's happen around the country where, the police have come in. There's questions about whether they announced they were police. They just came storming through firing guns.
They'd be
people
taking them out
in return and were killed.
That's right.
And this has been a problem. There was a famous case in Atlanta years ago where a grandma was killed, and what happened is some people working drugs under DA or whatever
kind of like thing.
They hit the wrong house.
Yeah,
and so they just come shooting, busting through the door. Well, grandma, she's packing. She's got the pistol, so she's trying to defend herself. And she shot one of the officers. I don't remember if they got killed. May have. Well, they just lit her up and killed her.
Yeah.
Well, they had the wrong house. They went on an informant, supposedly, who said they bought drugs from a location. Obviously, it didn't. Right. And then to cover it up, they planted drugs on the thing. Well, it all got found out, and all these people went to jail. But grandma's still dead.
Exactly.
Grandma had a right to defend her home.
That's right.
She hadn't done nothing to nobody. I think she was a retired teacher or something. Anyway, horrible story. Horrible.
I had the same thing when I was a young guy. Once again, I'm not naming any names, but a friend of mine, his dad he drank a little too much at times, and he would get violent, and the police were called, and he told the police they were at a sliding glass door. If you step through that door, I will shoot you. And one of the cops stepped in there and he shot him and killed him. And they lit him up, dropped him right there. I mean, there were like 8 or 9 police officers out there, and they just every one of them got a shot in, I think. But it's a wonder nobody else was killed.
Well, there was one a few years ago here in one of the counties, not the one I'm in, but a neighboring county, and they were sent out on one of those cases where somebody's claiming they were hurt. And I think it was done to get back because it was a child. If I remember right, it was a child custody issue. They were mad. They didn't have the kid. So that was the belief at the time, that they're saying there was a problem, kids being hurt or whatever. So for what I remember, if I got facts wrong, this is pretty close. They get out there and surround the home. Well, grandpa, because I think it was the daughter lived with parents after this split and all that. Grandpa is walking through the kitchen and sees, if I remember right, what they believe he saw somebody at the window with a gun.
Yeah. And
so he fires and they killed him. It was officers. But if you look up and you think somebody's fixing to shoot you through your window, and there's nothing nefarious going on, you just got woke up out of your sleep, you hear noise. It was, they cleared them, but come on.
I'm just telling you.
It's your home. It's your property. At night, in the middle of the night, they're showing up. And so there's got to be some kind of we've got to get to some kind of a better way to do that.
I agree 100%.
I mean, obviously you want to get to somebody if there's danger going on. I get it. You're keyed up, battle rattled. Let's go. But you got to take into consideration, this might be fake too. So a little just making sure before you start, because people have a right to defend their home, the Castle Doctrine. I mean, they have a right to do that. And so it's really horrible. I remember that case very well. It's just really horrible that we see things like that going on. Looks like a beautiful sunset going on behind you.
Oh, it is. It is. It's really nice out here.
It's gonna be nice when all the leaves get back out. Look at that.
See back out through the valley there.
Paul's in Tennessee. I'm in Georgia.
And I mean, I live in a beautiful place. I've been blessed to have a beautiful home like this.
You are blessed, and I'm blessed to have you as a friend, a best friend, and a
Most
brother
definitely.
in Christ, and
Amen.
Here at the podcast, and it's wonderful. We're having a ball.
Hey, big things are coming. Big things
are coming. We're going to be getting back out too. We very, very soon getting out and doing some of our on the move videos. On the move. We've got a lot we're going to get done. And don't forget, folks, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Annie Cyrus will be with us on the program. on the pro. We got shows before that, but we really want to let you know about that because we only got an hour, and we're going to pack as much as we can into that hour and listening to her story and about her book, because this is what she lived.
And that's this Thursday. This
Thursday at 2 p.m. If anybody can speak on this, she can, much more than I can. Yeah. I'm not an expert. I've never been to Iran. I can only go from what I read, what I study, listen to people. She lived there. She can tell you what it is, what it isn't, what it was, or hopefully what it'll be. Her story, and the current conflict and what she thinks about that.
Yep.
So go to her website, liveuptofreedom.com, and buy her book. You can get it on Kindle. It's out now. If you want the autographed book, it's going to be $34. That's not bad with the autograph, and then she'll send that to you. Mine's already shipped out. It's on the way. We have a couple of books that are en route, and we'll be interviewing them as part of our Wolf Nation book club. We have that book that we're going to be talking about before I've read it, but we have the sports book where the team didn't lose a game and had no one score on them. That should be in, and we're going to have Mr. Jim back in to talk about that book that he wrote. He authored that book. So I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah. Well, I guess we'll get off here, Paul, let you kind of.
I can't believe it's already been an hour.
I know. It's like a little bit, a little bit over an hour. I'll probably be back on if you want to join. You're welcome. Obviously, if you have the link, you can do whatever you want. Take a quick break. Join back in. Instagram just dropped, so it's good timing. So it has been an hour. 1 hour, 22 seconds. And we'll see you soon. Take care, folks, and God bless America, Paul. Peace. Enjoy their life on the ridge.
Oh, yeah. And remember, I always keep ascending.
Keep ascending.
The wolf knows.
The wolf does know.
He does.
I love the wolf. The wolf is awesome.
Look at him. He's right behind you. You can't miss him.
By the way, I was on this before the meeting started. Somebody said, Mr. Dave, they saw the cornbread man first. They always like question, cornbread man. So I explained a little bit about it. So they look back and they're seeing the wolf, So they said, explain the wolf, like you've got right there over your shoulder. Like, what is that Wolf Nation? So it gave me a chance to tell a panel of people about the Wolf Nation and adventure. And that's that's one of the arms, we'll call it, of the podcast. We have different ones, different nations. Wolf Nation is one of those. We are really excited about that. We can't wait to do. We've got a couple of things up in the store. We're going to have to put more and get some T-shirts and hats and things. And Wolf Nation is a big part of what we're doing.
Southern
huge
Patriots,
part,
baby.
Huge part. Southern Patriots and Wolf Nation. But we got Cornbread Nation and Patriot Nation and
the Dirt Report. We got it all going on.
The Dirt Report. By the way, I got the racing. You can't see it right now. I got the racing banner back up. Me and Jeremy put that back up, so you'll see that when you come back in studio. Anyway, have a great night, Paul. If I talk to you, if I don't talk to you, have a blessing of a night.
You do the same, my friend.
Tell your beloved we said hello.
Will do.
See y'all soon.